Well, I just started Wayfair Studios, and at the time, my book agent, shout out to Johanna Castillo, sent it to me, and she said, just read it.
Justin Baldoni's lawyer, Brian Fredman, is practically celebrating, acting as if they're already on the brink of winning the case. And with the newly leaked footage, it's easy to see why, as it appears to support claims that Blake lively tried to hijack Justin's movie. With every new detail that comes out, the situation seems to look worse for Blake. While all this drama unfolds, the Grammys came and went, sparking a side rant about celebrities and their questionable styling choices, before the focus snaps right back to the heart of the controversy. The latest developments in the Justin versus Blake saga continued to paint an unflattering picture for Blake, especially after the first hearing, when Fredman wasted no time speaking to the press despite the judge warning both sides to keep things quiet. Justin and his team are moving quickly, insisting on their innocence and urging the public not to rush to judgment, all while continuing to release evidence. Blake's legal team, on the other hand, is trying to frame the hearing as a win simply because the judge reminded both parties to behave. But the reality appears very different. Blake attempted to secure a gag order to silence Justin's side and failed, and she also lost her effort to avoid being deposed, meaning she will now have to answer difficult questions under oath. If there's anything she's hiding, it's likely to come out, especially given the damaging footage that surfaced, including a video where she openly admits to showing a rough cut of the film despite being explicitly told by the studio not to. Sony had only permitted her to show selected minutes, yet she allegedly showed the entire film and laughed it off, implying no one cared, which raises serious questions about whether she meant the audience or Sony executives. This only adds to the mystery of why Justin wasn't present at these events and why Blake appeared to be acting as though she owned the entire production. Taken together, the leaks, the footage, and the legal setbacks suggest a pattern of someone trying to control the project, sideline the creator, and shape the narrative without expecting consequences. Meanwhile, Justin has largely stayed quiet, allowing the evidence to speak for itself, as Blake's public image continues to erode with each new revelation. At this point, it seems clear that her attempts to dominate the project, silence Justin, and control the story aren't working, and the truth is catching up to her, leaving Justin Baldoni positioned as the driving force behind the film while Blake is left exposed and scrambling as the narrative slips out of her control. What really happened, according to her own words, is that they decided they were going to show the entire movie, even though the studio explicitly said only 20 minutes were allowed, explaining that when the studio objected and pointed out the film wasn't finished, she brushed it off by saying people wouldn't care and insisting they should just show it anyway because audiences would still go see it in theaters. Now people are finally connecting the dots, realizing that Justin Baldoni was the one who originally found the book, who secured the rights, and spent years developing the project. Yet Blake lively somehow ended up taking control and making executive-style decisions, and this resurfaced footage seems to confirm what many suspected all along, that she took over in a way that raises serious ethical questions. With each new detail, the case continues to look worse for her side and is far from over. And while we're talking about entitlement, there's no way the 2025 Grammys can be ignored, because the event made it painfully clear that fashion is in complete disarray, with some celebrities looking like they lost a bet or were actively being sabotaged by their own stylists despite having unlimited money, access, and entire fashion houses at their disposal. The chaos didn't stop at the outfits either, as the night turned into a full-blown circus, from Billie Eilish and Taylor Swift leaving empty-handed and emotional, to Hollywood once again acting as if Jay-Z and Beyoncé owned the entire industry, while Kanye managed to outdo himself by presenting his wife in a moment so embarrassing it felt like a masterclass in secondhand humiliation. As someone with eyes and common sense, it feels like a civic duty to call out these fashion disasters, lovingly drag the stylists responsible, and expose what can only be described as unforgivable crimes against style. Starting off with a bang were Jaden and Willow Smith, delivering what many saw as peak attention-seeking when legacy status can't quite live up to parental money or talent, with Jaden stepping onto the red carpet wearing a literal black castle on his head that completely overshadowed his otherwise fine Louis Vuitton suit and instantly set social media on fire, drawing comparisons to Will Smith's similar 2023 GQ Italy look and sparking debate over whether it was a tribute to the recent LA fires that reportedly destroyed the family's $42 million mansion or simply another spectacle gone wrong, while Willow leaned into experimental fashion that mostly worked until the distracting teeth situation became impossible to unsee. Though her hair at least earned some praise, Billie Eilish showed up in her usual effortless, don't care aesthetic with a passable black and white look. Cynthia Erivo finally broke free from the green obsession linked to Ariana Grande, and Ariana herself appeared in a blue and silver metallic concept that sounded better on paper than it looked on the carpet. Chappell Roan wore a Jean-Paul Gaultier Spring 2003 couture piece that could have been iconic on the right person but instead came off like a haunted porcelain doll, though her speech more than made up for it, while Sabrina Carpenter delivered one of the night's strongest looks in a powder blue satin J.W. Anderson gown with feather details in it, the backless silhouette that screamed old Hollywood elegance. Then came the most blasphemous moment of the night, Kanye and his latest spectacle involving Bianca, who went viral not for what she wore but for what she didn't, initially appearing wrapped with some sense of mystery before revealing nothing underneath. A stunt so desperate for attention that the only real solution seems to be collective indifference, especially unsettling given that children were present in considering Kanye's past hypocrisy in shaming Kim Kardashian over body-hugging dresses. Julia Fox looked like she clocked in for work without changing. Troy desperately needed an iron, and amid all this chaos, the Justin Baldoni versus Blake Lively drama resurfaced yet again, with leaked footage showing Blake openly ignoring studio rules, laughing off restrictions, and behaving as if she were the director, producer, and star all at once, while Justin, the person who discovered the book, secured the rights, and spent years building the film, was sidelined and excluded entirely. The clips show her brushing off concerns with comments like they don't care, just show them the movie, reinforcing exactly what people suspected all along: entitlement, manipulation, and a massive overstep. And with every leak, court setback, and public misstep, Blake Lively's position looks more disastrous by the day, as Justin Baldoni's role as the true force behind the film becomes increasingly undeniable. The Grammys this year were absolutely wild, with some celebrities looking like they clocked in for the red carpet and had a toilet cleaning shift scheduled right after, from Joshua Boone seemingly reliving childhood dungaree trauma for no clear reason to Poppy dressing like she had a mountain hike planned immediately after the show. Janelle Monáe looked stunning in Aria and fully did the outfit justice straight off the runway, even if she slightly resembled a stylish train conductor, while Cardi B shut it down in a jaw-dropping Roberto Cavalli sequined gown with feathers done the right way, especially when compared to Sabrina Carpenter's otherwise elegant look, where the feathers unfortunately read more like a cleaning brush. Fashion-wise, chaos was clearly the theme, but the Grammys were never just about clothes. They were about the mess, and this year delivered drama, shade, iconic wins, and eyebrow-raising moments. Olivia Rodrigo and Sabrina Carpenter shocked the internet by hugging it out after years of tension, tied to the infamous love triangle era, leaving fans wondering whether this was a genuine peace treaty or just a well-timed public moment. Kendrick Lamar dominated in the pettiest way possible, winning 5 Grammys for Not Like Us, a diss track aimed at Drake, instantly earning the title of the most decorated hater in history. The biggest gag of the night, though, was Beyoncé finally winning Album of the Year for Renaissance after years of snubs, though the victory came with mixed reactions, as many questioned why it took Jay-Z publicly calling out the Recording Academy for the award to finally happen. Billie Eilish was caught on camera visibly emotional during the announcement, sparking debate over whether it was admiration or disappointment at leaving empty. And the night's most uncomfortable moment came when the Associated Press abruptly cut off music legend Babyface mid-interview to chase Chappell Roan, an embarrassing display of disrespect that left viewers stunned. Overall, the 2025 Grammys were a chaotic blend of fashion highs and lows, emotional milestones, messy wins, and unforgettable cringe, with some celebrities absolutely killing it and others becoming instant memes. Well, let's just say their stylists might need a serious intervention, because from Cardi B's flawless sequins to Janelle Monáe's train conductor chic, from Olivia Rodrigo and Sabrina Carpenter seemingly making peace to Kendrick Lamar's unapologetically petty Grammy domination, the night played out like a full-blown spectacle, with Beyoncé finally getting her long-overdue flowers, Billie Eilish visibly emotional, and Babyface awkwardly snubbed mid-interview in a moment that sent the internet into a frenzy even after reporters apologized. If this year proved anything, it's that the Grammys are always part awards show, part fashion experiment gone wrong, and part celebrity soap opera, where every outfit, interaction, and side-eye tells a story. And this year's narrative was chaotic, iconic, messy, and unforgettable. The Academy tried to reassure the public by highlighting its expanded voter base and promising reform, but skepticism lingered, especially with past snubs still fresh in people's minds, from the weekend's public criticism to ongoing debates about fairness. Social media continued buzzing over Olivia and Sabrina's red carpet hug, questioning whether it was genuine or performative. Kendrick's wins were both celebrated and mocked, and Beyoncé's Album of the Year victory sparked discussion over whether it was long overdue justice or a late correction. And then, saving the messiest moment for last, Kanye West and Bianca arrived with a shock value stunt that instantly hijacked attention, fueled rumors, and spilled straight onto social media, complete with Instagram antics, unfollows, and thinly veiled promotion, leaving many wondering whether any of it was necessary at all. In the end, the 2025 Grammys felt like a whirlwind of triumphs, controversies, fashion highs and lows, and headline-grabbing chaos, cementing the show as unforgettable and guaranteeing that the debates over who deserved what and who absolutely didn't will rage on long after the red carpet was